All right, let's try it. Let's try it. Let's try it. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. We trying to get this thing worked out today. Okay, we are live. Good afternoon. Okay, we are live. Happy Thursday, happy Thursday. Just wanted to make sure that we're live and everybody is able to hear me. So listen, for those of you that are coming on, do me a favor very quickly. I want you to hit the like button, hit the share button, tag somebody, let them know Prophet Ramon, the Ramon Preston Show, and my squad. We are live in his house on this beautiful Thursday in the beautiful Buckhead community of Atlanta. You see that I'm rocking the RP logo because I'm ready to give y'all some game today. This is actually going to be a good conversation that we have, and I'm very excited. I'm very excited to share this with you. For all of you that really want to figure out how to get past a lot of the clutter, a lot of the confusion, a lot of the uncertainty, a lot of the things that seem to be unforeseen, okay? I'm going to be showing you things that you can do today to really get past that. And so please invite somebody to join you, especially if you have people that are on your team, people that you're working with, people that you want to do business with. You might even have some clients and customers that you are trying to convince to connect with you and do business with you. Well, sometimes you just need to bring them into an ecosystem like this so they can hear different information. So before we get started, I want to say congratulations to all of you who have made the decision to join our Millionaire Blueprint. We have had some really good responses just within the last week or so. Since we have introduced our new Millionaire Blueprint, we are adding new training courses, new programs to this blueprint on a weekly basis. We just added an extraordinary sales program on there to teach you the 5 steps of a sales process, to teach you how to build a script and how to create a solid sales system and a sales program for your business, among many other courses. One of our most important programs on this Millionaire Blueprint is our holding company program. We teach you, we train you, we provide tutorials on how to start and structure a holding company, how to file and form your paperwork from your EIN to your articles of organization to your operating agreement to your divisions and your subsidiaries. So I'll talk about a little bit about that at the end of the show. But for now, welcome to the Ramon Preston Show. Ladies and gentlemen, I am your host, Ramon Preston, and every Monday through Friday, I have the privilege to show up here and to share information with you that I know can help you start, structure, and scale any business, any ministry, any income stream, and any wealth building dream, to the extent that one of our value propositions is that this information we provide for you, not just on the show, but in our Millionaire Blueprint and our mentoring program and our coaching and consulting divisions, this information can help you increase your income by 30% within 30 days. And if there's anything that you want to start as a business, as an organization, we can help make that happen within that 30-day window as well. So I want to say thank you for all of you that subscribe to our YouTube page. We are approaching 7,000 subscribers. That is a milestone for me because I remember when I only had like 15 subscribers. I remember when I had no subscribers. So to have almost 7,000 subscribers, and all of you that are on YouTube who are subscribed to my YouTube page, I want to say you are some of the most engaging people on the planet. I always tell this to my students and to my clients that if you want to be a speaker, a coach, a consultant, or be in that type of industry or move and build a business in that space, you need to be on YouTube and you need to be sharing valuable content with people so that they can see you know what you're talking about. And that's one of the reasons why we started this show. And for the last 11 months, I've been on here every Monday through Friday, with the exception of some weeks if I'm on vacation or there's some situation that comes up. But for the most part, we've been here. And guess what? We have almost 1,000 videos, even outside of the show. We have almost 1,000 videos on our YouTube page. We have videos on holding companies, videos on entrepreneurship, videos on investing, videos on real estate, videos on financial literacy, creative tax strategies, ministry, leadership. We have videos that cover everything that we do here at Ramon Preston Enterprises. So today, I want to talk to you about the 3 laws to predictable prosperity. The 3 laws to predictable prosperity. Now that's very, very powerful, just to have a headline that says 3 laws to predictable prosperity. Why is that powerful? Well, there are laws that govern your prosperity. There are laws that govern your success. There are laws that govern your legacy and the ability that you need to establish that legacy. There are laws that govern that. Now, of course, we have a lot of major influencers, a lot of major authors that have written books and that have produced a lot of content around different laws. And these are just the 3 laws that I believe you can implement and execute and utilize to predictable prosperity. So what do I mean by predictable prosperity? Well, I just think we need to get to a point in our lives. I think we need to get to a point in our lives where we start putting ourselves in a position that we can actually predict prosperity. Now, some people may feel like, how can you predict prosperity? Well, first of all, I'm a prophet, so I shouldn't just be predicting, I should be prophesying, right? But more professionally speaking, the ability to predict prosperity is really your ability to take certain laws that govern what you do in business. Laws that govern how you operate in business, laws that govern the process you have to go through to even become a millionaire and to become wealthy. If you take the laws that govern these things and you implement them and execute them in your life, you actually put yourself in a predictable position to project and to forecast what the outcome is going to be. This is so powerful. And the fact that people don't believe there are laws or principles and practices that we can implement and execute or use to predict prosperity, the fact that people don't believe that further proves that what I'm going to talk to you about today isn't something that's commonly talked about. A lot of people don't think that they can predict their prosperity. A lot of people don't think that they can really gravitate to certain laws, to certain principles and practices and predict a certain outcome. A lot of people just think, hey, life is the way it is because this is how God wanted it to be, or this is just the way my fate turned, or just this is just karma, or this is just how the universe works. That's not really true. And when you think that, most likely you put yourself in a position as a victim, you put yourself in a position to continue to fail, to continue to repeat the same perpetual cycle of not having enough and not really experiencing success and prosperity because you don't think there are certain laws that govern what you do, particularly in business and in finance. Now, if what I'm saying is resonating with you, and if what I'm saying is at least a little bit believable to you, I want you to put in the comments, hashtag millionaire prosperity. I want you to put that in the comments. Hashtag millionaire prosperity. Hashtag millionaire prosperity. Because some of you, years from now maybe, perhaps months from now, will look back at a conversation like this and say, I created millionaire prosperity simply because I started believing that there were laws that governed my predictability in millionaire prosperity. Or in other words, I believed Prophet Ramon when he said that I could implement and execute certain principles and practices in my life financially, in my life personally, in my life professionally, that could actually predict an outcome. Because if you don't believe that, it's going to be very hard for you to even advance in prosperity and see any level of success. And let me tell you this, because this is like firsthand experience. I used to be of the mindset and of the belief that prosperity wasn't predictable. I was of the mindset, of the limited mindset at a certain point in my life, that there's just no way I'm going to ever become a millionaire. There's just no way I'm going to be financially free. There's just no way I'm going to get rich and become wealthy, because when I looked at the landscape of life around me, when I looked at the way systems and structures were built, when I looked at all of the things that had been created to really keep me stuck, I just couldn't see past it. And it was a real struggle for me. But the moment I started educating myself about principles and practices of prosperity, the moment I started educating myself about not just the probability and the possibility and the potential, but the practice of being able to become a millionaire, the practice of being able to be financially free, the practice of being able to have a successful business, the practice of being able to establish a legacy for me and my family. The moment I started leaning into that thing, I realized that there are laws that govern what I do, that I can gravitate to, I can gather and pull in, I can implement those things and execute those things, and I can see predictable prosperity. So with that being said, let me talk about my three laws to predictable prosperity. All right. Law number one, and this is not a law that I created. This is the law that I learned, I gravitated to, I gathered information on, I implemented it and executed it in my life. So the first law to predictable prosperity is the law of the lid. I want you to write that down. The first law to predictable prosperity is the law of the lid. The law of the lid. What do you mean by the law of the lid? The law of the lid is like the law of this hat, okay? This hat is at the top of my head. It covers the crown of my big old dome, right? So it is assuming the position of a lid. So it identifies where the top of my body or the highest place of my body is. So that means anything above that lid may not necessarily be my body, unless there's a hole in it and my head is coming through it. But fundamentally speaking, the law of the lid, it carries the idea that your belief system and your convictions are going to determine how high you go. In other words, you will not be able to operate in business, operate in wealth building above and beyond your belief system and your convictions about business and wealth building. So when you think of the law of the lid, I want you to think about your highest earning potential. When you think about the law of the lid, because we're talking about economics, we're talking about business, we're talking about becoming millionaires and building wealth. When you think about the law of the lid with regard to predictable prosperity, I want you to think about your highest earning potential. So if I was to ask you as a consultant and coach, give me a quantifiable number that you think is your highest earning potential. what would that number be? What would that number be? If you had to give me a dollar amount, a quantifiable number that represents your highest earning potential, what is that number? That number can be $1 million. That number can be $100,000 a year. That number can be $10 million over the course of your life. That number can be $250 million. But if you are not able to clearly communicate a quantifiable number or dollar amount of your highest earning potential, it is because there are certain things that are limiting you, which means that the law of the lid has restricted you from moving forward. So there are some things that you have to do. Let me give an example. If your lid is centered around I want, that's going to limit your earning potential. I want to be a millionaire. I want to be full-time in business. I want to travel the world. I want to help my family. I want to create a legacy. I want to have a successful organization. The fact that you believe wanting is going to merit any manifestation of potential is, number one, unpredictable, because you cannot predict what you want. You can want anything, but it don't mean you're gonna see nothing, because wanting is not predictable. And this is a reflection of the lid that the law that governs your belief and convictions has created. So you're limited in what you're going to be able to do or even predict to do, because the law of the lid suggests that wanting does not merit getting. Did you catch that? All right. Well, guess what? I can. If you move just from I want to I can, you at least increase the lid high enough to start crafting some level of predictable prosperity. Because my conversation goes from I want to make $100,000 to I can make $100,000. Even though it doesn't open you up to endless possibilities, but it at least starts the process of expanding your beliefs and your convictions from what you want to do into what you can actually get done. Are you with me on that? But then you have this third level of predictable prosperity as it relates to the law of the lid that brings you from I want, it brings you from I can, and it brings you into I am. Now, guess what happens? Your prosperity becomes predictable because you almost assume the position to live in the manifestation of what you know is your reality. I want to be a millionaire. That doesn't merit becoming a millionaire. I can become a millionaire. It at least starts building the muscle of beliefs and convictions to move you in the direction of what is not 100% predictable prosperity, but it's not unpredictable prosperity. But then when you move into this dimension of I am a millionaire, now your belief system and your convictions demand that you gravitate to and you gather information on the laws that govern that dimension of belief and conviction. So I am a millionaire. Matter of fact, I want you to repeat this after me. You ready? Repeat this after me. Say, I want to be a millionaire. Just say it. I want to be a millionaire. Say, I want to be a millionaire. Okay. There's nothing really to that, right? I mean, you want to be a millionaire. Okay. Everybody want to be a millionaire. Now, repeat after me. Say, I can be a millionaire. No, say it again. Say, I can be a millionaire. I can be a millionaire. Doesn't it sound a little more stronger? Doesn't it sound a little more convincing? All right, now say this. Repeat after me. I am a millionaire. Say it. Say, I am a millionaire. Just like vaguely and just regularly say it like you're just in a conversation. I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. So you got somebody around you that say, I want to be a millionaire. Oh, okay. Somebody else come around and says, I can be a millionaire. And you're like, oh, okay. And then you step up and they say, what you got to say? Oh, I'm a millionaire. You're already a millionaire? Mm-hmm. I'm a millionaire. Now, this is not something that you're going to do just to flaunt and cap and put on for social media now. That's not what I'm saying to do. But what I'm saying is when it comes to the law of the lid, there are certain beliefs and certain convictions. Let me write that down. There are certain beliefs and certain convictions that you gather, that you develop once you go from I want and from I can to I am. Because now your beliefs and your convictions start training your subconscious mind. Your beliefs and your convictions start shaping your spirit being. Your beliefs and your convictions start forcing the chemicals in your brain to move in the direction of gathering data to support those beliefs and convictions. Does that make sense? So if I am a millionaire and I start believing that I am a millionaire, I start feeling like I'm a millionaire. I start thinking like I'm a millionaire. I start acting like I'm a millionaire. I start talking like I'm a millionaire. Now, even though I don't have the manifestation of it, let's say at this point, even though you might not see the materialization of it, but when it comes to the law of the lid, your beliefs and your convictions start demanding that you move towards the things that make up the laws that govern that lid. Because now you've elevated yourself to a dimension to not just believe you want something, to not just believe you can do something, but to believe that you are something. You are something. And if I am this, there are certain behavior patterns. There are certain practices. There are certain consistent daily habits that I have to start adopting in my day-to-day activities, because this is what that kind of person does. Okay? So if I am a father, think about it. I'll use that as an example. Let's say if you want to be a parent, right? You want to be a parent. And you go to the doctor and you tell the doctor, hey doc, I want to be a parent. I want to have a child. And the doctor runs tests. The doctor does an assessment on you and your spouse or your boo, whoever it is. And the doctor finds out that you actually can have a child. Well, guess what? You leave that doctor's office and move from want and you move to can. You went to the doctor's office saying, man, I want to have a child. I want to be a parent. I want to raise my child. I just want a baby. But then the doctor diagnoses you, right? The doctor has certain information. The doctor has certain technology that governs the things that you want to see manifest. And as a result, the doctor can come back with the diagnosis, with test results to move you from wanting, I no longer want it. Now you're going to leave there saying, we can have a child. And they say we can do it anytime we want to do. So guess what's going to happen? You're going to go home. Maybe you go home. I don't know. Maybe you pull over. Maybe you go to the moat. I don't know what you're going to do. But whatever it is that you're going to do, you're going to do what you got to do so that you can take this want and this can and turn it into what? I am. So let's say you go home and you and your spouse are so excited and happy and y'all make love and y'all do what you gotta do. And then a couple weeks later, you start feeling funny and you go back to the doctor, right? And then you say, Doc, I don't know what's going on. Or maybe you don't go back to the doctor. Maybe you go to CVS or Walgreens or Publix or Walmart or Target and you get a pregnancy test and you say, man, I'm just not feeling right. Something is different. And then you take the test. And then when the test clears up and you see the results, you realize that you prego, boo. You prego, dog. You finna have it. Guess what? You no longer want to have a child. You passed that when you got your diagnosis, right? It changed the way you think. It changed the way you processed information. It changed the way you saw parenting. You left that doctor's office with a can, and now you went to doing what you need to do. Why did you start doing that? Why did you start focusing on doing what needed to be done sexually to have a child? Because your belief lid went up from want to can. So now you were like, I gotta change my habits. We ain't going to bed early tonight, baby. We got to make it happen. And then once you took the test, because you started feeling differently, you started having different experiences, you went from can to I am. And now, once you get the test and the results show that you no longer want a child, you no longer believe you can have a child, but you are pregnant with a child. Now, there are certain laws that govern that dimension of belief and conviction. Now, you ain't drinking no more. Now, you ain't smoking no more. Now, you ain't clubbing no more. Now, you don't want people to be cussing and yelling around you. Now, you eating different. You starting to shop for maternity clothes. You see what happens? All of your beliefs and convictions start moving you into this demand to change not just what you do, but to change who you're becoming, because you are now a parent even before you see the child. This is the law of the lid that will push you to predictable prosperity. If you apply this same law to your finances, if you apply this same law to your highest earning potential, and you're willing to quantify that earning potential, you're willing to quantify the potential of your business, what you actually want it to do, not just stay stuck in, I want my business to be successful. I want more clients. I want to be a celebrity. I want to travel the world, and go from I want beyond I can. But at least you walk yourself through the stages, and then you move yourself into this dimension of I am a successful business owner. Those beliefs and convictions, when they get into your spirit, when they get into your subconscious, when they get into your brain, they start forcing and demanding certain behavior patterns, certain practices that you're going to start implementing, because those are the laws that govern the law of the lid, or govern your predictable prosperity. Okay? So law number 2, the second law to predictable prosperity is the law of action. The law of action. Now, a lot of people talk about the law of attraction, and hey, to each his own. But the fact that you convince yourself and develop this belief and conviction that you can become a magnetic force just to attract and draw people, places, and things to you, it does not necessitate prosperity and success. So that means when you master or develop a habitual practice of the law of the lid, you do not stay there just with beliefs and just with convictions that have taken you from I want, from I can, to I am. Because if that's the case, here's what's going to happen, and this is where a lot of people are right now, especially entrepreneurs and those who want prosperity and success. They just round here naming it and claiming it. I decree and declare I'm the head and not the tail. I decree and declare that I'm above and not beneath. I decree and declare that I'm the lender and not the borrower, and you're none of the above, and you never become any of the above. This is one of the challenges that I have with a lot of people in my community, and I'm talking about the Black faith community, because we have already been subjected to certain systemic issues and items that have subjected us to perpetual cycles of scarcity, right? And because of that, we've gravitated to religious and theological belief systems that has certain laws that govern them that have, on one hand, freed us up from certain systemic issues and items, but it has simultaneously or equally bound us to beliefs and convictions that never bring us to action. Oh my God, I hope you understanding what I'm saying. I'm giving you the game right now. So if we, especially in the faith community, can take our religious and theological beliefs and convictions and allow ourselves to develop the habits that reflect the I am, that's a free footnote, the I am that I am, and we allow those principles and practices to not keep us stuck in the law of the lid, in the beliefs and the convictions that may have moved us from want, can to I am, but it hasn't pushed us to action. But if we can move ourselves into the law of action, then we will start seeing forward progress. Meaning that, okay, we're no longer stuck in what was, but we have not transitioned into what is, and definitely have not gotten into what will be. So what is the law of action? The law of action is about operational effectiveness. Now, this is a real heavy subject. And a lot of the training and the education and the information that represents operational effectiveness is something that you have to get from programs like this, because it's a lot of techniques, it's a lot of skill sets, it's a lot of systems and processes and tactics and mechanics that you have to learn to use in order to create operational effectiveness. So the law of action suggests that there has to be a level of operational effectiveness in your finances, a level of operational effectiveness in your business for you to be able to predict prosperity. So prosperity is going to be predictable, not just by beliefs and convictions, because many of us, especially in the faith community, we can check that box. We believe God wants us to do it. We have convictions that God wants us to do it, and that we can do it, and that we are doing it. We see ourselves seated in heavenly places. We see ourselves being lenders and not borrowers. But when we complement it with the law of action, we now have to develop skill sets. We have to develop tools, techniques, tactics. We have to develop mechanics that reflect and represent operational effectiveness. Now we have to become effective in our actions and how we operate with money, how we operate with business, how we operate with sales and with marketing and with goal setting and with daily scheduling and with people and with promotions and with systems and processes. Now we have to operate effective in our actions with these things that make up our actions. So let me give you some examples of what operational effectiveness in the law of action looks like. Number one, we've got to develop infrastructure. That's why I said this goes back to the Millionaire Blueprint. So in order for you to develop infrastructure, what does that mean you have to do? Well, you have to have the right business system structure. I would suggest that the business system is a holding company. You have divisions under your holding company. You have subsidiaries or operating entities under your holding company. So infrastructure is going to be critical to your operational effectiveness. So the law of action does not actually work unless there's a high level of operational effectiveness. Because if I'm not operating effectively and my actions don't reflect operating effectively, I cannot predict the outcome. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know what the process of where I'm going and what I'm doing looks like. So this is where you have to, first of all, build an infrastructure. Then you need internal systems. Why do I need internal systems? Well, my internal systems helps me to contextualize all these things that I am operating effectively in so that my actions can be predictable to get me to prosperity. So give me an example of some internal systems. Well, I need a sales system for my business. I need to have a sales system. I need to have a CRM. I need to have the ability to gather information from my potential clients, from my leads. I have to be able to compartmentalize these leads and these potential clients. I need to know how to connect and communicate with them. I need a system. I need a marketing system. I need some type of system where I can actually go to my internal back office and connect those internal back office systems to the internet, to social media, to mediums, to channels of communication, so that when I am getting activity and attention, all roads are leading back to some type of internal system. And last but not least, you also need interconnected processes. Why do I need interconnected processes? So let me give an example. If the law of action demands that I have operational effectiveness so that I can predict prosperity, and my operational effectiveness is going to be dependent upon infrastructure, let me give you an example how that looks practically. That means I need a business set up, structured correctly, and I need a product or service that I'm providing in that business. I need to take that product and service and I need to introduce it to the market so that I can at least check the box of infrastructure. But when I go into the market, I need to have marketing campaigns and marketing strategies so that when people see what I have in terms of products and services, they can reach out to me, or I'm able to reach out to them, and I can have them all a part of an ecosystem internally that I'm able to make all this information make sense. So I can take their names, I can take their emails, I can identify with what website they went to, what link did they click, what product or service did they find interest in. And then once I'm able to connect with that person who may not be a client or a customer yet, I have some type of process within that system that I can walk them through. So what is that process? I put something out on social media, somebody clicks a link, the information from their link comes back to me. I can take that information and reach back out to them. Once I reach back out to them, I walk them through a certain process to get more information from them, to share more information with them, and at some point to make an exchange, to make a transaction, to make a conversion so that I can make them a customer or a client. So that's checking the internal system box and the interconnected process box. And how do I service that customer or client? This is the law of action. So if I'm able to do this with one person, right? Just with one person, if I just put one post on social media, I'm making it real easy for you to see it. If I put one post on social media, or if I put 10 posts on social media, and 10 posts get the attention of one person, and one person fills out one form, and one form gives me the information to make one call, and one call gives me the ability to discuss one product, and one product, discussing it and demonstrating it, gives me the ability to make one close and to get one client, at least I have a system that has this information, right? And I have a process that I can at least duplicate to actually predict my prosperity. So whatever the dollar amount is that represents this process that I have a system with this information in, all I have to do is predictably determine how many of these times do I need to duplicate this in order to get a certain dollar amount. That's predictable. That's what operational effectiveness is. That's the law of action. Man, I'm giving y'all game. Woo. Some of y'all should just be calling me saying, you know what, I'm gonna join your program just because you give so much free game away, Ramon. And the reason why I do this, because number one, I just love people. I want to help my people. And none of this is taking away from anything that I'm doing to predict my prosperity, because I don't want to be a millionaire. I don't believe I can be a millionaire. I am a millionaire. I am a billionaire. And I have the assets of intellectual property, the assets of intelligence, the assets of revelation, information, practice. I have the assets of beliefs and convictions. I have the assets of operational effectiveness and systems and infrastructure and processes that I know without a shadow of a doubt is moving me more and more to the manifestation and the materialization of what I am. So it's taking nothing away from me. The third law to predictable prosperity is, number 3, the law of reciprocity. I don't even know if I spelled that right. I know I killed that one. Whew. I killed that word. I knew I was going to crush that word. The law of reciprocity. And that is a word, by the way. The law of reciprocity is the law of reciprocation. It's a biblical law. All of these laws are biblical. Like whether we want to accept it or not, these laws are biblical. So what is the law of reciprocity? The law of reciprocity, or the law of reciprocation, is a leadership. It is a leadership capacity law. This is a leadership capacity law. So let's walk through it. I have the law of the lid, my beliefs and convictions, from I want, from I can to I am. It demands that I gravitate to certain principles and practices that represent and reflect that law, right? I have the law of the law of action, which is operational effectiveness for infrastructure, for internal systems, and for interconnected processes, correct? And so now I'm able to create duplicatable actions that are actually predictable. I can predict what the outcome is as long as I do ABC 1, 2, 3, okay? And then it brings me to the law of reciprocity, which is a leadership capacity law. Now, how does that play into my predictable prosperity? Because I have to increase my leadership capacity so that I can become the person I need to become, not just to myself, but to those that I come in contact with. So I've got to be willing to give. I've got to be able to give. I've got to be ready to give. And in order for me to be willing and ready and able to give everything I have, I need the capacity to handle giving that. So to my point, I give all this free value away 5 days a week on a show. I give all this value away to my clients, to my students that are on my program that I coach and consult every day. You know why? Because this is my capacity. I have the capacity to do enough for a certain amount of people that I know can be quantified into me becoming a billionaire. Think about that. So If I need to serve 1 million people to become a billionaire, I have the capacity to lead 1 million people. If that's what the quantifiable number is to represent me becoming a billionaire is 1 million people, guess what? I got what it takes to do it. Maybe it's 10 million. I got what it takes to do it. But I need the leadership capacity. So that means I have to have certain capacity and value in that capacity to give out, believing that it will reciprocate more back to me. So here's what you need to focus on. How do I inspire more people? That's leadership capacity. That's the law of reciprocity. How do I influence people? That's leadership capacity. That's the law of reciprocity. How do I impact people? I hope y'all can see that last one. How do I impact people? That's leadership capacity. That's the law of reciprocity. I know it's hard to believe when you do not have leadership capacity. It's hard to believe when you don't have this. It's hard to believe that there are people like me who show up like this for things more than money. I know it's hard to believe because all people who don't have this capacity believe is, oh, he's just trying to sell a product. Well, yeah, I want to sell a product, but I want to serve people with this product because I know this product will inspire you. I know this product will influence you. I know this product will impact you and will assist you, watch this, in developing the leadership capacity to have predictable prosperity. So as long as I give it out, it's going to come back to me because I have quantified what I do based on these lids. And so these are the 3 lids or 3 laws to predictable prosperity. If you enjoyed this lesson and if this lesson has really opened you up to seeing how important it is for you to stay around people who think above and beyond the limitations of what society has represented, I want you to give me some feedback in the comments or maybe one of your biggest takeaways. And guess what? If in fact you are inspired, influenced, and impacted by the information that I share for free and the value I provide for free, and you want to connect with me on a more personal, professional, and financial level, here is what I want you to do. First of all, I want you to consider joining my Millionaire Blueprint program. This program has been built and I'm continuing to build on this program to produce blueprint millionaires. That's what my next assignment is. Above and beyond me consulting clients and coaching clients, I want to provide mentoring to people to show them how to become blueprint millionaires. And some of the quantifiable reasons behind that, some of the numbers and the metrics and the math behind that is what fuels me. It's what inspires and influences and impacts me because I know the way income classes are set up, particularly in the United States of America, you have to have a certain level of income even to be free of stress and struggle from paycheck to paycheck, or from just getting by, or from scarcity. And in order for you to even hit any of those income thresholds, you have to, at minimum, think like a millionaire. And I have really done a lot of research. I've done a lot of math. I've done a lot of studying and developing products and programs and teachings and trainings and lessons that I've put into this Millionaire Blueprint that are not just qualified, but they're quantified. Truth is, they're verified and validated because I have become the very thing I want to inspire and influence and impact others to become. So I want you to at least take this into consideration. Some of you shouldn't even be taking it into consideration. You should be texting right now. You should be texting the word millionaire to 404-478-7213. Now, the good thing about this program is that it is a complete, on-demand, virtual, online, video-based business and financial wealth building program. And you get access to it 24 hours a day, on demand, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. We are offering 1-year access to this Millionaire Blueprint for a limited time, because when we move into 2022, the prices of today won't be the prices of tomorrow. This is already a $5,000 to $10,000 program. Like, there's information in this program that I know some of my competitors are charging $10,000 to $15,000 to teach you about holding companies. Some of my competitors are teaching about holding companies, about creative tax strategies. They're charging $10,000 to $15,000 for programs similar to this that don't have the other elements to it. So not only do we have programs on starting and structuring, filing and forming, holding companies, divisions and subsidiaries, we have programs for financial literacy. We teach you how to set up QuickBooks for your business, how to develop creative tax strategies to minimize your taxes, maximize your deductions. We teach you on real estate investing so that when you start getting enough earned income and active income, you can move that money to create passive income. We teach you about goal setting, about scheduling. We show you how to create a whole sales program for your business. We teach you about marketing campaigns and how to really position yourself in the market and brand yourself, because a lot of entrepreneurs don't understand the branding and the marketing behind the products and services that they're selling. And so we have a special offer for this Millionaire Blueprint that is ending. It is ending at the end of this year. This is a $1,500 program, and we are offering payment plan options for those who text the word millionaire. So you can choose to pay a one-time payment to get 1-year access to this Millionaire Blueprint program today by texting millionaire to this number. Or once you text millionaire to the number and we reach back out to you today when we get the text, if you need a payment plan option that works for you, we will make that work for you, because we want you to become a Blueprint millionaire. And guess what? Even if you do not make 7 figures in the next year, I guarantee your income will increase because you have a Millionaire Blueprint. So the beliefs and the convictions are going to change. The operational effectiveness is going to change. How you inspire and influence and impact others with the products and services you offer is going to change, and is going to get you much further away than where you currently are right now. And when we reach back out to you after you text the word millionaire, if you are interested in joining our upcoming Millionaire Mentorship program, this is going to be a coaching and consulting program on steroids. And I'm going to literally be mentoring top performers, high performers, those of you who do not mind getting lighter fluid and like nitrogen into your spirit so that we can accelerate you to 6 and 7 figures. I'm going to have a Millionaire Mentorship program that we'll be introducing at the top of the year. It is going to be an exclusive mentoring program that will require an application. It will require a qualification. I'm not going to just be accepting everyone into this program because, number one, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to mess up good relationships that I have with people. And I don't want to create a bad reputation or name for myself. And I'm saying that because I can be brash, I can be very rough and rigid, and I have a lot of high expectations for myself. I hold myself to a high standard of operational effectiveness, of beliefs and convictions, of inspiring, influencing, and impacting. And those that I'm going to be bringing into this Millionaire Mentorship program are going to be people who don't mind me, for a lack of a better way of saying it, kicking them in their behind. And that's what I'm going to be doing. I don't typically do that with my coaching clients and with my clients that I consult, because that is a professional relationship. I should have a certain level of integrity and class and dignity. And I have to do it sometimes, but for the most part, my coaching and my consulting is contextualized enough that I can have class with how I work with my clients, because they pay top dollar to be coached and consulted by someone who's professional, not by someone who's always being ratchet and who's always condescending and disrespectful. But for my Millionaire Mentorship program, I ain't cutting no doggone corners with you. I'm pushing you because I'm having to accelerate your process. So what a coaching client or a client that I consult may be able to do in 2 or 3 years, we've got to craft a strategy and an accelerated process for you to do that in 8 or 9 months. And what you would typically do in 8 or 9 months, we may have to craft an accelerated strategy and process to do it in 12 or 16 weeks. And so the process is different. The process is more intense. And that's why this Millionaire Mentorship program is somewhat of a coaching and consulting service or program on steroids. There are a lot of shows that you see on TV like Bar Rescue, Hotel Impossible, the Restaurant Impossible. These are shows that basically experts go into these businesses or these establishments or into these groups, and they only have a small window of time. And so they're very on top, they're very aggressive, they're very demanding, not because they're obnoxious people, but because they know they are limited in what the time is that they have, and they know that whatever it is that they do, they have to accelerate that. So this is going to be a very accelerated program that I'm going to be providing, and I'm going to infuse my consulting expertise, my coaching expertise, my training expertise into this program, but it's going to be for an exclusive group of people who are ready to win. So if you're interested in learning more about that, we first need to get you started in our Millionaire Blueprint. And the good thing is, when you join our Millionaire Blueprint, and for those of you that are a part of our Millionaire Blueprint, we will at least consider moving you up to our Millionaire Mentorship program if you meet the criteria. All you have to do is just reach out to us and let us know that you're interested in it, and we'll share more information with you. We also have an upcoming business certification program that we will be launching at the beginning of the new year. A business certification program is going to be a program to teach you my system and my process for coaching, for consulting, and for training. So if you are a coach, a consultant, a trainer, or maybe you're interested in getting into that space, but you want to be trained properly, and you want to learn a system and a process for providing those professional services that can get you predictable prosperity, basically can make you money, then we have a business certification program available for you. We also have a licensing program. Our licensing program is going to be like one of the next best things since business sliced bread for me, because it's going to give me an opportunity to license you all of our content, all of our products and services that you can actually sell through your business as a licensee and begin making money immediately. For example, when someone joins our licensing program and they purchase a license for our program, for our products, for our services, first and foremost, they're going to be trained to become certified coaches, consultants, and trainers. So anyone who joins our licensing program will automatically be brought into our Millionaire Mentorship. They will automatically be brought into our business certification. So not only am I going to be mentoring you as a licensee, but I'm going to be training you to certify you, even if you do not perform coaching and consulting services. I want your business to be led by someone who is certified to do that, even if you just choose to hire other people. But in addition to that, and maybe most importantly, I'm going to show you as a licensee how you could take products that we currently have, like our Millionaire Blueprint, and sell this product through your company, all right, and make money immediately as a licensee. And I'm going to be 100% committed to our licensees because we're going into business together. So if you have any questions or want to know more about anything that I'm talking about, of course, you can go to RamonPreston.com. It will prompt you to certain tabs and certain links to some of these programs that I'm referring to, and all of these programs really. Or you can text the word millionaire, even if you're already on the blueprint, but you're interested in knowing more about the mentorship, the certification, or the licensing. I still want you to text this word millionaire, because moving forward, those who text this word millionaire, I know are people who want to become blueprint millionaires, and they want to be a part of a business community of coaching, consulting, mentoring, and training that can help them get to 7 figures and beyond. So I appreciate all of you for joining the show today. Feel free to reach out to us at any time if you have any questions about anything. Drop your questions in the comments. We always go back, revisit our comments, pull those questions, and we always circle back around to answer those questions. But I love y'all. I want you to have an amazing day. We'll see you right here, same place, same time tomorrow on the Ramon Preston